Greetings and welcome, Sweeney Dunston here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to turn a Pillager Outpost into an XP and Crossbow farm. So if you enjoy Minecraft tutorials, gameplay, and all kinds of other Minecraft related content, subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss another video. Before we get started with the tutorial part of this, I wanted to show you guys just a bit on how this thing works and explain a few little details. So as we can see, we have pillagers spawning in the grass area and moving towards the center where we have a villager. Anywhere inside the yellow glass, no other mob except for the pillagers are going to spawn. Let me turn it to night and I'll show you what I mean. We've turned it to nighttime, and as we can see, we still have the pillagers spawning over inside this grass area, but on the outside of the yellow glass, we have other mobs. And that's because this is the only thing that can spawn in here. It's kind of like an ocean monument. They have a specific area where the guardians are allowed to spawn around the ocean monument. And it's the same thing with the Pillager Outpost. This little hut here is not necessarily an AFK point. In fact, it will slow down your rates if you are AFK over here. That's just a little bit of an entryway, just in case you need to get out here and do some kind of work, like getting another villager in here. Don't think that they can kill this guy. I haven't seen them do it yet. But these cakes, they allow the pillagers to see him and not shoot him. So that's the only thing that'll work. I've tried slabs and other things, but the cake seems to work. We've now turned it to daytime, and as we can see, these guys are spawning in like crazy, heading right for that villager. But they're not able to get to him. This line around the outside of the grass area is as far as the pillagers will be able to see the villager in the center. So if we place one guy right here, he'll immediately turn around and head towards the villager. Place him on the glass, he doesn't even see him. So that's why we have this glass in this area. We do not want the pillagers spawning out here in this area. We want them to spawn out here in the grass. One more thing is the grass seems to be the highest rates you can get. They will spawn on other blocks, but the grass is where they spawn the fastest. Now we're going to head downstairs to the kill chamber and show you what's up down here. Now you can make pretty much any type of way to get up and down that you want, but I would definitely suggest bringing in some cows, tying those up so you can have an infinite supply of milk to get rid of that ominous effect, as well as a bed just in case. You can never go wrong with that. Also make sure you have some food and things like that down here. We're going to go over to the kill chamber, and we have just a small collection area. You can put this out into a sorting system or whatever you would like. Go ahead and grab this up, and we have lava up here to kill them off so that we're not overflowing the system and crashing servers and whatnot. But if we turn that lever off, we'll get these guys coming down here, and we can just go to town. Collect all that XP, and all the items get collected and put down into here. Another thing that happens when we flip the lever is happening right here. It activates this little system. This is not necessary, but it does help flush them down. So if you want to learn how to build that, just let me know in the comments, and I'll do a tutorial on that as well. And now let's crack on with the tutorial. So what I want to mention first is this is going to be a little bit difficult at first. You're going to have to come all the way into here, kill off all the pillagers, and light up the area, because they will not spawn if there is too much light in their area. They love skyblock light, but they cannot stand torchlight or any other kind of block light. So you're going to need to light it up so they will stop spawning, so that you can come in, flatten out the area, and take down the outpost. While you're taking down the Pillager Outpost, remember to leave the floor in place at the bottom. This is going to help us find the center and keep track of the center of the entire build. Once you get done leveling the entire area, you're going to have to find the sweet spot in the center and count 28 blocks out from the center, and place nothing but the grass blocks in that area. And now it's time for the fun part. This is going to be the most time-consuming part of this build, and we're going to have to flatten out the entire area, clear it out, flatten it out, all the way up to 38 to 40 blocks away from the center of the outpost. Once you have everything cleared and flattened, it's time to start measuring. So we're going to go 28 blocks out from the very center of the outpost, all the way out to here. And that will all be grass. One big square of grass, just like that. Once you have all the grass platform in place, you're going to make another little ditch out here. It's going to be 7 blocks away from the grass. And anywhere that you see that you have an area tall enough where a mob can spawn in there, we're going to cover that up. We don't have to do any cave lighting or anything of that nature, but we will have to cover all this up, because if skyblock light levels are going underneath and into the caves, they will still spawn down in these areas. As for places like this right here, on the very edge, we are going to have to cover that up as well, because once again, the pillagers will spawn underneath this if we don't have this properly blocked from any skyblock light. By the way, if you do have a wandering trader that comes over to check out the build, that means you're doing it just right. He's going to come over and approve the build, and you're going to keep going. I'm kidding, he has nothing to do with it. Once you have your spawning platform measured out and flattened out, it is time to measure out 7 blocks around each side and fill in with glass. I'm not going to be doing this particular thing in the tutorial, but I will leave this up on the screen for a moment so that you can take a screenshot or pause it, whatever you need to do, to get those corners of glass in place properly. Now that we have all the spawning under control, we can come back into the center where the outpost used to be, and take out our center block, and mark out a 3x3 area where the villager is going to be staying. Place in some floor blocks, can be solid, doesn't matter. And then we can place in some cake, just like that. 2 layers. Make sure you're holding shift whenever you're placing cake on top of cake, otherwise if you're hungry, you're actually going to eat the cake instead. Place in your villager, you can do this in many different ways. And now we're going to place some stair blocks on the tops of these guys right here, all the way around, and then a slab on the top of that. That's going to have to be a bottom slab. We don't want any of the pillagers spawning on top of this because they're not going to come back down. Now we can go under here and place a lantern in this area. We don't want a sea lantern or anything like that because we're going to be putting too much light over into the grass area. Now that we have the bait in place, we can come in and mark out a 17x17 drop area, and we're going to go 8 blocks out, starting at the cake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to see how far that was from the cobblestone, so it's 3 blocks away from the cobble. Makes that easier to do on the other sides. Mark 3 out there, and then go back in some. Just like that, all the way around. And then we're going to make this a perfect square. And now that we have the 17x17 hole dug 4 blocks deep, we can come back down and place in our floor, and this is going to go 3 blocks out from the edges. We're going to do that all the way around. If you've placed in the floor properly, it should look like this. You'll have a 3 block drop down to the floor here, and that's going to come 3 blocks out from the main wall. Drop down 1 block, come out 3 more, drop down again, and 2 more to the hole in the center where you're going to be dropping the pillagers down to the kill chamber. Now we can place in the water streams, and we're going to do that very simply by taking out that block there, leave that center block in place right there, take out 1 more against that wall all the way across until we get to here, and then repeat this all the way around. And once you get done with all this, of course if you have any holes like that, you want to fill those in. Once we get done with this, we can actually place in the water all the way against the back there, and we should have a perfect water stream leading into the center. Before we place the water in the sides, we're going to come down here to the center. We're going to place a block in here. That's going to be a temporary block. Place a fence gate on the top of that, open it, and delete that block. Now we don't have any problems with water going down the tunnel. Now we can come over to the edges and place a water bucket ever so often, just like so. If you mess up like that, no big deal, just delete it, and you're good to go. Now do this for all the sides, and you will have a perfect little funnel. If you've done your water correctly, you'll notice that the flow goes right up to that block I said not to take out, and then shoots straight down to the center. It should all be focused right on the center. Next, we need to encourage the pillagers to actually walk off the edge instead of standing here shooting at our villager. Definitely a bad thing to have, so we're going to place trapdoors along the edges like so, and then open those guys up, because they see that as a full block and they will walk off the edge. But we're not just going to do 1 layer, we're going to do 2 layers. So we're going to do the 1 layer across the outside edge all the way around, and then we're going to place dirt. As far as the corners are concerned, this is what you're going to do with that. You're going to put 1 block there, and you're going to place trapdoors on those like so. So you got an arrow pointing at an arrow. See how that works? And then we're going to continue placing them all the way around. Once you get all your trapdoors in place, it should look something like this. Then you can go ahead and take out all your dirt blocks that you placed so that you could put the trapdoors in on the outer edge. Now it's time for you to hit the F3 and see where the XYZ is on your screen. Make sure that you find yourself a nice location to exit. and mark down those coordinates because you will need them here in just a moment. Now we're going to go over to the drop and we're going to make sure that we have a stack of ladders because we are definitely going to need those. We're going to come down to the center, open the gate, and we're going to have to drop down 25 blocks so that we can get this down to a one-hit kill plus keep them spawning. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 just for good measure. That's going to give us a little bit of room to work with. I'm going to place in a torch so we got somewhere we can see. And to find the proper coordinates you're going to need to go to, you can hold against one wall and push forward and backwards, see what that's going to do. So that's changing my X coordinates, and I'm already on negative 512, so I just need to go this way. As we can see, I've already cleared out my tunnel. We are good to go. And of course, we're going to be placing in ladders as we're digging. Be very careful that you don't run into lava or other sources like that. If you want, you can actually exit back out on that side for now, come back over to here, and carefully dig your way down. But me, I am in creative mode, so I don't even need to do all that. I'm just going to dig straight up, and we should be right inside of our tunnel. Perfect. Now place your ladders in, you're good to go. And now we're back over at the kill zone. We're going to make a nice little area where we can collect the XP, the ominous banners, and the crossbows. So this is level 25, this is level 26. We want a 25.5 block drop. So we're going to take out that torch, we're going to place in a slab like that, and we're going to place a block up here, giving us a half a block gap to look through to chop them. And then we're going to have to bring this down one more level in this area, as well as taking out some of the area around so that we can place in the hoppers and the chests. Now I'm just going to place a couple of them here, and one little trick just in case you didn't know, once you place a chest here, if you're holding shift, you look at the side of that chest from the proper angle and place it again, and you are making a double chest. But if you're not, you're just going to make single chests. So there we go, we got that. Place some hoppers into the sides of that underneath that slab. And then we can place blocks back over here to stand on, and we're good to go. Just real quick, before I finish up taking out these torches, I just wanted to show you the effect that the torches actually have on the spawns of the pillagers. So I'm going to fly up just a little bit. As we see, this half over here is not lit, and this half over here is. And as we saw, we have pillagers spawning on the left, where the torches are not. They fall right in, and right down into the system. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, leave a like, and check out my How to Play Minecraft series as well as my other tutorials. But until next time, Sweeney Dunston here. Stay positive. I'm out.